Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my channel, and today in this ninth video of the series, we are going to write the code so that we are able to fulfill the requirements of this particular issue. So what we want to do is set up the application in a way so that we are able to see the details of the issue. And I'm coming from the fact that if I just refresh, if I try to go to this page, it gives me an error because I haven't created that thing. That method on issue controller doesn't exist. So let's try and see how using TDD we are able to do that. So the basic test which I would first like to do is have one test for my page response. So I'll go to my page response test file, and over here I will add a new test. In here, the new test will be shows the issue detail view, right? So this is what we are trying to assert. What we would like to do over here is first get a project, and I will tell you why. If I go to that particular URL, you will see I will need the project ID, issue, and then the issue ID, right? So these two things are required. So I have my project. I create that using the factory method. Then I create my issue. I create a new issue where the project ID is basically the project that we just created. It allows me to create that mapping, and obviously this will be done using a user. So I'll just have this line as well. Now time to act and assert. So what I will do is get route issue.show, and now I need to pass two parameters. And obviously now if I run my test, it will fail. Why don't I add the only tag and try to now run? So first of all, it will obviously complain that this method doesn't exist, which is fine. I need to add that. So I will add the show method. Okay, these are available to us because of route model binding. And then I want to return a view, pages issue view, with what I would do is I'll send the project, and the issue. Now obviously I don't have this view, so I'll just create that, and I'll copy paste some markup over here and then explain you. Okay, so this is what I have over here. So I have extends layout, I have this section where I'm showing the title, then I have my h2, okay, internal ID, title, all those stuff, and then you can see I have X Markdown, and I have this because I want to import the Spatie package which converts the markdown into HTML, because my GitLab issues, let me see if I can show you the database. So now if I look at this issue, right, so I have set up Laravel API Angular, blah 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 blah. Well, so this is pure markdown which I need to consume, and for that I will need that Spatie package. So what I can do is, inside my terminal, I have that package already, but I will just, yeah. So I'll do composer requires Spatie Laravel Markdown. It should download the package. It will do it from the cache. It will update my package.json, right? And this is done. And now let's see what happens if I run my test. it passes, right? And that is what we wanted. So what is happening is, based on the web route, I have the project slash issues, and then based on the ID, I am getting the view. Okay. And that basically means that if I go to that page now, all right. Now this is something which is kind of passing right now because the issue, so the issue which is getting created, right? If the ID is kind of different, it will not create a problem, because what I ideally want to do is, if I show you the issue create table, I want the GitLab ID to be used, for the identification, right? So what I would do is I will just go to this issue.php, and because I have a different identifier for my route key, right? I'll have a method over here called get route key name. It returns a string, return GitLab ID. Okay. And the reason for that is, if I show you the index of issues, what I'm doing over here is passing issue GitLab ID. So it is not the issue.id, but rather the GitLab ID, and hence I need to tell the model that my route model binding is based on this. Okay. Now if I go to my page and if I refresh, can you see this is working, right? And that's what I wanted to kind of show you, that this markdown needs to be properly covered. And now I will continue to have a passing test. But then there are more things that I would like to handle, especially in the ticket. It says that the following field should be visible: the title, the description, and the state, right? So how do we do that? So what I will do is close everything out, create a new test. This will be page issue view test. The test is automatically added. I'll clear this out. I have my own template. So first thing is, I would like to test that it shows ticket information. Shows ticket information. So this is going to be my first test. Now obviously the next one should be that it shows a 404 when the ticket doesn't exist. Okay, and this is my second test. The last one is it shows the correct state of ticket. Okay, so now what do we need to do for these tests to pass? Before that, have I removed the only? No, I haven't. So let me do that, or else only that test will be executed. Okay, so now what do we need to do? First, I obviously need a user. I also need a project and an issue. Okay, do acting as user, or maybe I'll just take this to keep things consistent. And now it comes to the main assertion. What do we want to do? First of all, obviously get to that route. I will just copy this piece in here. Okay. Assert OK and assert C text. What all things do we want to see? We want to see the issue title. description, and the state. So if I now run this individual test, it is passing, which is good news. If I, for any reason, sometimes it is a good idea to make some changes, break your code, and then see if that works. So for example, I would rather test that the hash is also visible. Okay, so what I will do is I'll have my hash. I can do a hash issue ID, or is it IID? I would think it's IID, internal ID. Okay, I have internal ID, right? Okay, so internal ID, and then I have issue dot title. So this is a little more precise. What I'm expecting is this kind of a string where the hash is present and stuff like that. And now if I try to just remove that hash, I run this test again, right? It would fail. So that's the beauty. You should sometimes test your test as well. Okay. So the first test is passing. This is good. Now let's move on to the next one, which is if the issue doesn't exist. So we will borrow some of the code from here. I need a project. I need a user. I obviously need to I'll need this for sure. I don't have an issue, so maybe I'll hard code a number, something like this, and then I'll assert not found. Okay, and it pass. And I know this is generally correct, so this is fine. Now, the last piece, which is shows the correct state of the ticket. So let me see how is my issue factory looking like. I have a closed thing, right? So what I can do is I can get all of these in here. So my project issue factory, this is fine, closed. Okay, this is the state of the ticket that I'm interested in. And I don't need to do anything else, just assert this. Should work. It does. So if I try to do open, it will fail. If I do closed, it is again failing. Why is that? How am I showing the thing over here? Okay, so it is opened and closed in small. So closed, it is something like this, and it passes. So maybe I can do that as well. This particular thing where I'm explicitly saying that I want to see the closed thing, or even better, issue state enum closed value. That should also work, right? I'm not explicitly hard coding that, but yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this video, where using tests I am able to see the details of an issue. So that's about it, guys. That's what I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you like this series and you're able to learn how a basic Laravel application is created using test-driven development. There is also third-party APIs that will be involved. So I am pretty excited about this, and I would definitely like to know what are your feelings. Comment below. If you like this video, then do click on the thumbs up icon and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.